If that's the way you come in, it's going to be the way you leave, and your lasting impression is seeing yourself in the mirror of the house you're going to buy.
Guys, we are back at the Verified Build and we are joined again by Sarah from Sage Spaces. I feel like I said that wrong again.
No, it's fine, you got it right. It's fine.
What are you actually here for today, Sarah?
So what I'm actually here for today is hopefully we're going to go in and see a very, very nearly finished house. I'm hoping carpets, flooring.
I have had a sneak peek.
It's looking all right. So what I'm here for today is to do final sanity checks on measurements to make sure we've got the right furniture coming in, that things will actually fit through doorways, that we've got the colourways correct in the bedroom, and just basically have a really good look round to make sure that everything will fit and also be that it's ready to be installed when we're hoping to install it.
Perfect. And is there anything that can drastically change what notes you took from the very beginning? We've not knocked any walls through.
No, I'm hoping not. Obviously I came mid sort of development as well and had a look. There was things that, a few rooms that weren't quite finished that I think there's a double wardrobe where a boiler is. I want to have a look at that today to see what we can do with that. So it's just once it's completed. Sometimes things look a little bit different as well once everything's done and you've got the carpet and the flooring in. So it's just making sure that we've got the right things, the right inventory in really to really showcase it and present it at its best. So,
awesome. Yes.
So things like this little thing you see, that's really useful for me to come and see because then we can put lifestyle accessories in that. Whereas it wasn't before. So just little tiny things like this, making sure that we know where everything is. So
when it comes to colour, because I guess you might have made a note of what we thought the colour was going to be in a room.
And obviously we went through with all the lick selections, but it's whether which room they've gone in. Because I put my suggestions forward and I think all those colours were chosen, but it's where they've then used them. So then that will help me select what's going in each room.
So you're not committing to a theme and then going, guys, the walls are different.
Absolutely. Is that a toilet?
This is a downstairs toilet.
Okay, super, because we weren't sure if that was going to stay a store cupboard.
So there's storage basically underneath this door.
Brilliant.
It's a bit jammed, but...
So this is why I like to come and do these final visits now, because obviously that will need things like, we'll make sure we've got a mirror in here and a plant and towels. So we've got extra inventory that we bring along. And in here we'll probably put little storage baskets. Okay. And just so it's just not a blank room, just so the shelves are dressed. So people get an idea of, you know, it's not just a room with shelves in it, or we could put stuff on it. This feels a lot bigger in here.
Yeah.
Does feel a lot bigger.
Because if I remember rightly, it was some deep red tiles.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'd allocated dark grey sofas to this room and I was thinking, oh, I'm just hoping it's not going to be too dark, but now I've come in today, they're going to work perfectly. Because the style's exactly right. Okay, amazing. But it was just, is it going to look a bit dark? But this, again, another reason why I come in and just do, once the paint's in and the flooring's in, it can make such a difference, you see. Is this the lick colour?
Yes, all the paint is lick.
Turbo 2, I think it is it? Yeah.
Interestingly as well, I guess you don't include things like TVs, do you?
We do put TVs into show homes, things like that, that are going to be in for a long, long time. Yeah. One of the reasons we don't is because a lot of them nowadays are wall-mounted TVs. We don't like to go in with big, heavy brackets and that sort of thing. But what we will do is we will maybe lay the room out so they can think, well, there'll be a mirror up there, because that might be your TV point there. Is that what you've got?
Yeah, I think the intention was to put sort of a TV above the fireplace, but you know, it all depends on the individual, because they might go, well, no, I want to stick a sofa. Yeah. Absolutely, and that's where we tend to use things like console tables and stuff. We'll dress it with some lifestyle accessories, and they'll think, well, maybe we could have a TV in that corner, but you could equally fit one there. And I think even now, I mean, I'm still getting my head around this room, and I think one of the things is because you've got dual access here. Yeah. So furniture layout, we will allocate the furniture, and then even on the day it might change the layout, but I know what will fit, and it's just then how we lay it out. For a property this size, we'll always try and get in at least 2 sofas and a chair, hopefully 2 chairs, and would have in there a console table, then a coffee table, and 1 or 2 occasion tables. When we look at how many bedrooms we've got, we like to see how many people are going to be living here. And we need to have at least enough room for them to be able to sit down and guests. So it's just making sure that what is in there is relative. These look great. Yeah, and
the
nice. Kitchen counters have just been done over the past, the week just gone.
Really nice, and that's just all been oiled.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing we look at here now is this corner here. Do we put something there?
Yeah.
So we have breakfast bars, but I think all our breakfast bars would be too high for that window. So we could look at bringing in a two-seater table sort of thing. Or do we keep it clear and just put a big plant or something there? Because what I don't want to do is over clutter it. Because it links up nicely here, and we're going to have a big dining room suite in there. So if we get a little sofa in here with a coffee table or something, and then across here, we'll put a six-seater table in.
Yeah, nice.
And we've got 4 chairs and a bench, so that way as well it'll more of a nice family casual dining area. But with it being low ceilings, I think the bench, well, as you find, it's not a house to use.
I'm familiar with these ceilings, I can tell you that.
See, I'm all right. It's like a hobbit house. I'm okay here.
What type of table and chairs do you go for? Do you have like a range of
lots of different
budget
ones.
Or style?
Yeah, I mean, in here we've gone for something like a bit of a Scandi feel almost. It fits with a cottage, but it's like a bit more modern living. So it's sort of light oak with the black metal legs, and the bench will work with it as well. But in some table we've just put in a glass table with nice oak crisscross legs. It really depends on how many it's got to seat and what property it's going into. With this, do we want to make it a little bit, it can be an entrance as well, because obviously there's a front door there.
Yeah, it's a tough one, because depending on who you ask on that one, like for me, if the parking's around the back, I'm going to go to the closest
and you're
door.
Right on, but people might not. And if it's visitors knocking on the door, they might come through that way. So what we'll do is we'll put a console or something there and a mirror as you come in, just so you've got that initial entrance feeling as well at the same time. Because one thing we do like to do is put a mirror by the entrance, and that's a bit of a psychological, so that's why I asked which way the estate agent will be bringing in. So if that's the way you come in, it's going to be the way you leave, and your lasting impression is seeing yourself in the mirror of the house you're going to buy. So it's a little bit cheesy, but it's all psychological.
Yeah.
So that's why we always like to have mirrors in an entrance, because they walk in and they can see themselves in it, and then they can see themselves out. So, and also it adds a lot of brightness as well, because there's nice light flowing through there. Oh, we've got coat hooks there, that's cool, we can play with those. So with that, we'll bring in maybe a hat and a scarf, or, you know, and sometimes we put a nice pair of wellies or something there, just to sort of dress the area, and just so it's not just a load of hooks.
Yeah,
but it's all about that aspiration. As much as it's a marketing tool, it's very important that it, you know, it's styled well.
It's illustrative, right? It shows you what the space is for or can be used for. So,
absolutely. And everybody wants nowadays that aspirational Instagram lifestyle. Now this is an area I need to look at, because this decides what size headboards we can get up and down these stairs. It might not be too bad actually, because we've got that clearance. Because did that have railings?
Yeah, there used to be a railing here. Yeah.
So I think we're going to be all right on it.
It was a pretty rickety old railing as well. I think it was a wise choice.
Because we've got that space to tip out if we need to, and then we can come straight up here. So I think we're all going to be all right on headboards. I don't think that's an issue. I thought that was an issue.
Yeah, that is a consideration. You kind of you often forget about. It's all right having a big sofa in your house, but you've got to think about the doorway that you've got to get it through in the first place.
Absolutely, absolutely you do. I mean, these all look okay to me, and say, yeah, that one will be fine. And this has got this is slight look. It looks smaller. Is it smaller? Yeah. See, that's only a 730. Let's see what this is.
Have we got slender doors?
Look, this is much bigger. Well, it's not a problem, because the bigger sofas are going to go in here. What we do, the best way to get them through, and this only works if they're up to a 3-seater or anything bigger than that, is to have them vertical. Yeah. And then you can slide one area around.
Pivot.
Pivot. Yes. So we'll do that, and we have furniture sliders as well. They're great things for moving furniture. This is beautiful up here. This has come up really well.
The contrast of the wood and the paint.
Really nice.
Beautiful. And the carpet as well, because this was like concrete or something. Yeah. There was like a weird concrete block. And
It feels so cosy up here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And this is where I think you realise that the bottom half of the house is actually a lot further along. Because you come in here now and I think, well, we need a Hoover, but actually this is about ready for staging.
Yeah.
And I know downstairs will be the same underneath everything. It just needs everything tidying up. So no, really lovely. So I think still go maybe a little chair or something there, just because it's a nice big landing. This
was like one of the first rooms that got completely painted.
So yeah, we'll have double bed in here, bedside tables, and then we'll have like a desk area and an accent chair in there, or like a dressing table. And yeah, that's exactly as we planned it, so that's all good. Or was it this one that they had like a bath or a shower here? Did they have a shower here and you kind of had to stand?
So it was raised up and then my head was in the curve.
That's right. Those works really, really well.
Interestingly, it's the same in both of them. They both had basically the same problem.
The dressing bathrooms, again, we just try and soften it. So if there's a bath, we'll always put a bath rack in there, and then we'll have like a nice bath oil and scrunchie and a candle, and so people can go, oh yeah, you can just go and chill out. And we always like to have a bit of greenery in a bathroom as well. It just takes the starkness off and feeling less clinical. Right. So
I'm still of the assumption that still needs to get boxed in.
Because is the idea that this is boxed in and then this could be used for storage?
I believe so, yeah. I don't exactly know what the solution will be, but there was talk of it being boxed in last time. So whether it will actually still need to be accessed, so I guess it's going to get some
sort of door or something on it, yeah. Because I'm not sure staging-wise what we could do with it, to be perfectly honest. It isn't something like a piece of furniture could hide.
You're not going to bring your drill and...
put a wall up. This is a big enough bedroom to have freestanding wardrobes. You don't need this space for bedroom storage, but it might be quite good to have it for like household storage with bed linen, towels, all that sort
Was it an airing cupboard? Is that what
like an airing cupboard, yeah.
The skirting, interestingly, still needs doing here.
Okay.
But the ensuite is in as well.
Right, so the shower's there. Yeah. Super. So, we'll have to put the bed there, I think, won't we?
Interesting.
In front of the rad. The only other way we could get it is under there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was assuming you would go with a bed here.
Yeah, my only thing is, if you've got a bed here, and you're getting out of bed, like in the middle of the night, and then you've got to come all the way around here to get to your toilet. So living-wise, I would tend to have got access both sides of the bed then. We can put a console there. So that would be like where your chest of drawers go.
Yeah.
And we'll put some sort of a chair or something over there, and I think, well, we could fit another piece of furniture, because actually a chest of drawers is often the same footprint as a wardrobe. So this would be an ideal place to put a wardrobe. Yeah, I would say this would be the mum and dad room, where they've got their own bathroom and the kids can be downstairs. And a lot of, if you've got younger children as well, a lot of the time it's more important for them to have the bigger rooms because they've got all the gumph and the stuff. But I guess it's personal preference, but the one with the ensuite, generally, I would always try and make the principal bedroom. So I think downstairs what we'll do is we'll get some sort of maybe like quite contemporary teen looking bedrooms, and then two of them will dress a little bit more adult. They'll have more throws, more cushions, a bit more stylish. Not that they won't all be stylish, but we'll style them in that way.
It's a shame you can't see the floor because this has got the herringbone.
This is a nice herringbone, isn't it? Yeah. And we could put a dining table then, and all you're going to have in here is a little sofa and a chair, like a two-seater, because we don't want to cut off too much of this area here. The other option we've got is we could bring a sofa. We can't really bring a sofa in here because you'll be cutting the door off. Could get a tiny, tiny one in, but I think it will make it look like all you can fit in is a tiny sofa. Whereas if we put a chair in, it'll again give it that more illusion of space. And we could then possibly bring a sofa just to here. But again, it would have to be a two-seater for getting access around it. And then we could have a table possibly up against the wall here.
Yeah, it's a really interesting space.
Yeah. The other option is whether we put, this isn't really, again, big enough area. Could we do something in here for a dining area? Which isn't something we've explored before. It's either always been there or in there.
It feels snug.
It does feel snug. Let's have a look. We've got an 80 centimetre table. So you're going to be near those stairs. That's the only problem here. So, I mean, we did discuss whether we put a desk or something in here, but I think it might be too high for the window. But maybe a little chair and a lamp and right at the bottom here.
A little reading corner or something.
But if we look at then the same measurement of an 80 centimetre table in here, so that's your 80 there, and it will be tight, but if we just put 2 seats on, it'll give them somewhere to sit. We could even bring it out more centrally into the kitchen. It doesn't have to sit in a corner because you've got quite a lot of workspace here. We could bring it out to sit here, and then we could get 4 chairs around. A more mature, they're going to want to sit down to eat properly. They're not just going to want to sit on their knees and a sofa. You
could easily block that off with the table though, couldn't you?
That doesn't need to be a feature. It's there, and this is big, but we're not selling that. It's selling that they've got the space, and you easily have got the space in here. So I think if we sit it off about here, and then it will come to about there, you've got loads of room to then get into your cupboards, to cook, to get to your sink. I don't want to put anything slap bang in the middle and you're having to edge around everything. So a circular table of just off this corner here. You've got room then for all your chairs. Because it's a big kitchen compared to that room.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I was just looking at sort of the amount of countertop that you have as well. Like, yes, it's separated, but it's actually a huge amount.
You've got as much countertop in this as you have next door. And you've got lots of cupboards, which is brilliant. But I just think you need somewhere to sit down and eat. I think it's an important thing to showcase to people that you can, you can do that rather than them questioning again, where we put a table and chairs.
Are you pushing the sofa against the wall at this point, or is it still coming out?
Not quite, just off a little bit, not quite as far as it was. But we always tend to, again, this is art of illusion, just bring it off the walls a little bit, because again, then it gives that creation of space around it. It will just give that illusion, and just to float the furniture a bit rather than everything being back against the wall. Because what we don't want to do, we don't want to disrupt this flow through here, because that's very important to have, because that's your way upstairs. Hey, look at this. I love things like that. And this has all come up really lovely again, hasn't it? This is such a beautiful wall, and it's more central. We'll pop the bed on this one. And we'll put a little accent chair in that small corner. And a dressing table just here, and with a nice mirror on so we can bang loads of light in, because that's quite a dark corner as well.
I'm really impressed with the lick paint, to be honest.
Yeah, it's nice.
The finish on it is kind of...
And the colours are really good as well. When you put the stickers up. And they're, sometimes, when you kind of get paint out.
It completely changes. Was it you that chose the sort of colours to shoot for with Lick?
Yeah, I gave them sort of different options of colour palettes and sort of pulled out which one. And they've gone with all of them, which was lovely actually. But yeah, this sort of worked really nicely with like this sort of minty duck egg sort of colour. Again, it was just creating that warmth, and because these cottages need that. They're so beautiful. As I say, it's such beautiful pieces here. Really nice little feature. I mean, look, if you look through there now, that's just gorgeous.
You've measured everything up, taken notes and everything like that. What are the next steps now for you?
So the next steps are to confirm an installation date, make sure everything's going to be ready here, so we're not in anybody's way and they're not in our way. And from that, we will then start to allocate the furniture out of the warehouse, make sure that we've got everything we need. We might need to source some bits just bespoke for this property, and then that's it.
And it takes roughly about 2 days for you guys to bring it all in, get it all staged.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I know, it's quick, isn't it?
It's very quick. So if you're watching this, make sure you subscribe so you get to see the final result, which is happening very soon, because this has been a hell of a project.
Yes.
It's going to look amazing.
Very nearly there.
Stay tuned. Very nearly there.
Very
you
nearly
heard it from Sarah. Subscribe and we'll see you again very soon.